Events canceled, gotta go virtual, you might be on a remote team, or you've just got some Zoom burnout. These 3 activities will re-energize your group, allow you to hit the refresh button on the way that you've typically done things, and break out of that, oh, we have to do this remotely, into the mindset of, ooh, I'm kind of excited to do this remotely. One activity is so simple that it almost hurts, but it's really novel and your group will love it. The second one is great for introverts and extroverts. And the third one has been sitting in everybody's pocket all along, and we're gonna put it to use. First exercise I got from a book from John Chen, and it's called Mirror Mirror. And if you're feeling spunky, you can actually do it with me as I introduce it. And so Mirror Mirror, the idea is you invite somebody else to pick a partner, and there are all sorts of variations, but you invite somebody else to pick a partner and mirror exactly what they're doing. So if you're on Zoom and you're in gallery view, or if you invite everybody to be in gallery view, you invite somebody to silently pick a partner. You don't tell who is mirroring who, and you just have that person do some sort of actions, and their intention is to mirror their partner. Meaning that somebody else is mirroring somebody else. It just creates all this weird dynamic where people are doing different stuff, but it eventually becomes the same, and maybe 5 people are all mirroring this one person, and so everybody's doing this at the same time. Just something physical to lighten up and move around a little bit. I think on Zoom we spend so much time in this position, hunched over a laptop, and it's just not really good for us. Second one, really introvert friendly, also really easy to lead. I call it Blackout Breakouts. And the idea is typically we use breakout rooms for group conversation. So split out into a group of 3, answer this question, discuss this, solve this problem, come back, etc. What if we actually said, I'm gonna split everybody out into breakouts for 3 minutes and just silently journal on this topic, or on this question, or spend 3 minutes doing absolutely nothing. So to be clear, the logistics, if you've got a group of 20 people, you create 20 breakout rooms, you send people all off into their own room with some objective, whether that's to just sit and be still, whether that's to journal or reflect, whether that's to rearrange something in their background or their space so that when you come back, you try to get people to notice what they've rearranged or moved. That's kind of a different activity altogether. Or 2, one that I really like is inspired by Susan Cain's book, Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And in it, in her TED Talk about the book, she talks about this idea of Rosa Parks and Buddha and Gandhi all kind of going off on their own at some point and bringing wisdom back to society, right? So they're not the people that are thinking out loud and constantly talking through things. They actually enter their cave, literally or metaphorically, to gain their insights or their enlightenment and then come back and bring it to the group. And I think Blackout Breakouts is perfect for that, because you can say, go back and either think about this idea, come back with some insight, or spend 5 minutes Googling. So if you're teaching an astronomy class, you could break out 20 students into 20 different breakouts and say, you've got 5 minutes to find a really amazing fact about space online. Once you find it, I want you to make sure that you fact check it, so see it in a couple legitimate sources, and then bring it back, and we're gonna share what you found, your fact, with the group. Feel free to not click the first option on Google, because everybody's gonna click the first option on Google, so try to dig a little bit deeper, right? Look in like the backlink of a Wikipedia article rather than the thing that's really obvious that pops up right in your face. The third activity is called Pixelated Pictures, and very simply, this phone, even if you don't take a lot of pictures, probably has hundreds and hundreds of pictures on it. Typically though, when we're in a virtual meeting, we don't really use this to interact with people at all. Whereas if we're in person in a conference or something, we might pull up this photo and be like, oh, look at this, etc. But why don't we do that virtually? The only difference is when you hold this up to your webcam, it's gonna be a little bit more pixelated. But there's something really cool about being able to just do that. That photo in particular was Otto watching his first Steelers game 2 days ago and going absolutely ballistic over it. But you might give people a certain prompt, right? So choose an image that brought joy to you in the last month. Choose an image that has a family member in it that is really meaningful to you. And can you just show that image and share about that family member with your breakout? So pixelated pictures, you literally are just inviting people to choose a picture that they want to share, which I think is so important because it gives people lots of choice in how they share. hold it up to the webcam in gallery view or in breakouts to actually share. Lastly, while Zoom is this really reliable, wonderful tool for us to be able to communicate and sync virtually, I've been pushing the boundaries and exploring more and more tools. And I had an absolute blast the other day. I'm in this mastermind group with a bunch of other really cool speakers, authors, educators. And for my time in that group, I said, I actually want to switch off Zoom and try out a new platform. Literally all we did was go over to butter.us, which is currently the one that I'm enjoying exploring the most right now. It is built for interactive facilitation. Instead of just like launching reactions or emojis, there's actually a soundboard. And so if it's quiet, you can click the crickets and it makes cricket sounds. There's just more dynamic ways to interact. Anyway, all we were actually doing was having a platform sandbox. We were just exploring the platform, testing out all the features, trying to break it. And it was an amazing exercise. So your group, if you always meet on Zoom or you always meet on Teams or you always meet on Google Meet, just literally meet somewhere different and try to break the platform. Wonder.me and Butter.us are two really great examples that I like right now. I'm currently not comfortable having the main meeting on that necessarily because sometimes tech breaks. If you've got lots of firewall, you work for the government, etc., it's harder to get into those platforms because they're web-based. But you can even just say, hey, do a tech check, log on beforehand, make sure you can get in, your video and mic is working because we're gonna meet on Butter and just try to break the platform. You can also meet for your purpose, right? So if you need to brainstorm an idea or come up with something or make some decisions, you can do it on that platform, but just spend the first 10 minutes trying to break it. That activity alone will re-energize, hit the refresh button on your virtual meetings. If you ate these 3 exercises up faster than a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you will love this video where I unpack 3 icebreakers to play on video conferences. And oh my goodness, look at this product placement that was just conveniently here the entire time. If you're not familiar with it, this is my new book, How to Make Virtual Engagement Easy. And it's loaded with ideas, not meant to be read in order. Every chapter has a QR code with a video and a specific, unpacking a specific topic. Hundreds of really practical, immediately useful ideas on how to spruce up your virtual gatherings.